Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and today we're going to have a lot of fun setting up our card binder. We have 410 slots here and we're going to use up probably most of them. In fact, we might even buy some additional sleeves, I'm not entirely sure. In this case of setting up and deciding what it is we want to put them in what order. Also, another interesting thing, while I was looking through all of these, if we just go to general, you can see that card brand says Fusion Event Ranked, Flip Limited Edition Foil, Heroic, and Double Heroic. Now, I have been calling the event cards Heroic and Double Heroic since the very beginning, and a lot of other people have been calling them Heroics and Half Heroics, and I've always said there's no such thing as a Half Heroic. You don't get half of a Heroic card. If you use a Heroic card and a non-Heroic card, you get a Heroic Fusion, or a Heroic Pro. But if you've got two Heroic cards and you fuse both of them together, you get a double Heroic. And it seems that Cat Daddy has made big old Grand Cat's double Heroic thing official. It seems that that's what we're now going with. So now those are all the double Heroics. So what we're going to go and take a look at first is we're going to set up... Oh my goodness, is this all of all? My goodness. We're going to set up our front page, which is the first 9 cards. And, oh, that's very interesting. Ah, okay. So I just realized that I think these early ones aren't considered event cards. Let's take this one off. Because this is an event card, but it doesn't seem to show up under events, so that's quite interesting. And this is going to be my very first card in the folder. It is also my showcase card. It is my favourite card. It's my very, very first event card in all of WWE Supercard. The next one is going to be this Seth freaking Rollins with the championship. That is one that I am particularly proud of. I think this was my first PCC reward. Was this Randy Orton? Also, you can see that these are silver pros. They're not; those were fully gold pros in their day. It's just over time they have not retained that. Now let's see, what else do we want to add into our front page here? What ones are particularly special? I have a feeling this Goldberg was the first ever Heroic card. I don't think there was any Heroics before that. But I'm not sure if that makes it worthy. In fact, one thing... Okay, so there's the two of them. One thing I am going to do is look at our ranked cards, because it is particularly a Seth Rollins that I got ranked 68 in. That I am going to showcase out in front. Now, whereabouts is he? Did I go past him? Why is he not showing up? Oh, there he is. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put that one in the folder as well. That's going to be on our front page. We've got quite a few other blue ranks there. You can see that there is quite a lot of them. And you can also see, if I go to Double Heroics, you can see that we have tons of double Heroic cards. My goodness, and all of these will all be getting put into the folder eventually. It's just a case of deciding the order of which to do them in. Let's look at our limited edition cards. I've always really liked this Undertaker. Not Undertaker, sorry, this Akuma. I clicked on Undertaker as I was talking about Akuma, my goodness. I've also really liked this Final Boss, The Rock. It's difficult to tell, what do you think are, like, when you think of your top 9 cards out of everything in WWE Supercard, you know, what do you go to? Is it your limited edition cards? Is it your heroic event cards? Is it like, what is it that is something that's special? You know, is it the M Bison? Is it the Akuma? Is it some of the Battle Pass cards? Is it this that was the first CM Punk card? Is it ones like this really cool Finn Balor or this Undertaker here? Like really, really nice. Is it something like Robocop? That is another one. This one's actually pretty cool as well. You know, actually, I think Robocop is going to be on our front page. I think we're also going to have this John Cena because I always really liked that one. I'm just going to go ahead and choose ones that I really like the look of. Oh, this is one of my favourite Triple H's of all time. There's actually another one that I will also add to this that I've only just remembered. It's the one where he's basically sitting on his throne and he's got the DX symbol in lasers behind him. We'll need to find that card. There's also ones like this so this is the reprint image of the very first event card in all of W Supercard. It was Legend, and I really always wanted this image of Brock with the title over his shoulder. Of course, Brock Lesnar is not quite as prolific as what he once was. Also, I've also really liked this Hulk Hogan. I think it's always been a really nice version of Hogan. The fact that the heroic card was so different to the rest of the heroic cards. Now, we've got 2 more spaces in our front page, and our front page might change. There might be cards that come in and out of it. There's some of them like this, like Adam Cole with the NXT title behind him. There was a Drew McIntyre with the world title behind him like this, but I never ever pulled it, and it always really annoyed me because that one would probably be in there. Oh, these two are actually pretty cool. The WrestleMania 35 artworks. This is ridiculous, this one. In fact, it's got sound on it, doesn't it? It's supposed to sound like the audience doing the oh, 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 but it really doesn't sound like that. Some of these ones are really, really cool. The some of the animated Battle Pass ones. I mean, we could even put in things like, you know, the People's Championship belt and things. I think I'm going to put in our final boss, The Rock, into here as well, actually. That is one that I always really liked the look of, with him with the People's Championship behind him, or over his shoulder even. Cupid. Remember, anything that we put in the binder we can't use, so we have to be very careful about what it is that we decide that we are locking away. Oh, this was always a pretty cool one. The Fortified 3 Inferno American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Oh, I also always really like this one. In fact, it might be the Triple H. I really like my Triple H cards, as you may have noticed. The Akuma is also a really, really good one. That's a really cool image. Yeah, I think it might be Akuma. I think that is going to be our front page. Now, are we allowed to move things around, or... What does this do? Oh, right, okay, so you can change the image on them. Oh, it'd be really nice if there was a way to... I really hate that there's a delete function next to this. Oh. It'd be really nice if there was a way to move the cards around a little bit. I wouldn't mind my middle row being all Triple H's. Oh, it says up here place. Ah, okay. So we can change it that way. Okay, so let's change you to 5. I meant 6. Then let's change you to 6. And if we change Robocop to 7. Then we've got Triple H along the... We've got Triple H along the front. Yeah, I think this actually looks pretty good. And we're going to change your placement to 2. Okay, so then we've got Seth Rollins on the 2 top corners. We've got an entire row of Triple H in the middle, and then at the bottom we've got Robocop, the final boss of The Rock, and Akuma. That looks like a pretty cool first page. So the first page is the most important one to set up. From that point onwards, we're just going to go into the rest of the things. So I think the next thing that makes sense is probably the limited edition cards. And I think we do this in reverse order. It just occurred to me, were those 3 Macho Men out of order? I need to check that. Yes. So you should be 12. And you should be 13. It would also be really nice if we put another limited edition before Macho Man so that we could have the row of Macho Men. Oh, that's cool that you can actually just slide back and forward like that. So do we have one? Yeah, we've got Undertaker here. Let's make him number 12. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I can get behind that. I'm going to make the Fiend 10. So that's in the middle. And the reason why is I'm thinking about my second image. We're going to go ahead and do Eddie Guerrero, then we're going to do Roddy Piper, and then it's going to be Trish Stratus. And there you can see that our card binder looks pretty cool. We've got the Santa Claus at the top, the Roddy Piper at the bottom, and then you've got this basically H shape of the old limited edition cards. I think that looks pretty nice. I am pretty pleased with that. Now the second page, although we've got these 2 Undertakers... What is this? Oh, you're complete. That's awesome. Very cool. Although we've got these 2 Undertakers, and we've got the Santa, and we've got the Cupid, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have exactly 9 of these images. which is a real shame because I think it means taking the EO Sky away from our left arrows. Let's take a quick look at our female left arrows. So this is currently our best left arrow. Just occurred to me that that's there as well. Okay. That sucks. That sucks that I don't really want to go putting this EO Sky in the showcase. Because that would have looked really, really nice. To have all 9 of those all together. So I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to have the Santa Claus in the center, and we're going to leave the EO Sky not in there. So that's 3. This is 4. So 5 is going to be the Santa Claus. I think. Or do I want to try and keep the Santa Clauses together? Oh man, decisions. Okay. I'm going to put Cupid in there instead. Card is in an active deck. Okay, now let's take a quick look at our card binder. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then we need to work on the Santa Clauses next. So then it's going to be Santa Claus. Then it's going to be the other Undertaker. Okay, now oh, we can't put the Santa Clauses together because this one is here. Yes. I completely forgot about that. So how would I go about putting those together? I think the answer is I can't. I think these just have to be separated if they are going to go by the order. Well, if I can't do that, then at least I can do this. So this one is now going to be 23. Which is going to mess things up, but don't worry, because you are going to be 29. It would be really easy, like it would be really nice if there was a way to just drag the cards left and right, but I don't think we are getting to make things easy anytime soon, unfortunately. So that's our limited edition cards. I believe the next one we should go for is probably ranked cards. And once again, we are doing this from the bottom. So I think the very first Last Man Standing card was Triple H. I think this was the very first one. It was either Triple H or it was Braun Strowman. I think The Rock came later. This is Shattered, this is WrestleMania 34. Yeah, these ones were all WrestleMania 34, and that one's Goliath. Yeah, WrestleMania 34 was the first one, then it was Goliath, then it was Shattered. So I think it was Triple H was the first one. Then it was, I think, Braun Strowman, and then I think Batista. And I'm not confident on that in the slightest. Then it would have been Ric Flair, followed by The Rock. Let's take a quick look at our card binder. Okay, so we want to put one more Last Man Standing card that has the old Last Man Standing thing in it, if we have one, into that section there, which we do. We've got literally one left, which is Doink the Clown. Okay, and now we're into a new page. So I think at this point we're literally just filling up the binder with the rest of these. I'm just going to go ahead and unlock all these. Is there a way to unlock multiple? Is that possible? Like a way to do mass unlocks? Because we'll be putting all of these in the binder. So much effort was put into all of these ranked cards. Okay, so I think what we're doing now is pretty much just this. Also, that edge that you just saw is very interesting. That's the only Judgment Day edge that was ever available. I'm not even looking at my binder, I'm just filling it with stuff at the moment. And then we'll take a look at it a little bit later on. I have a feeling that some of these may be in hideous orders. Whoops, that was a mistake. No, that was also a mistake. Right, let's go ahead and take care of our mistakes before they get out of hand. Okay, let's returned cards. Try and decide, are these in order? They look like they could be in order. Okay, we're just going to assume that that's in order. It might not be, but it looks like it's in order. So Jey Uso, and then the People's Champion, The Rock. And then that's us, okay. So after our ranked cards, what does our binder look like now? Okay, so we start with 6. Also, see how this says Season 1 over here at the side? Is there any way to change that? Is there any way to swap these out? Or do they all just say Season 1 with a little W logo on them? Because, I mean, obviously these cards are not all Season 1. What limited edition cards are left? Oh, right, the Eos guy, of course. Of course. I suspect the next thing to do is probably... I think it's probably all three events, heroics and double heroics, so that we've got all of them essentially in order. Now, of course, we're going to stop once we get to Crush. That is where we're not putting in run killings and the Alexa Bliss and things. Not yet, anyway. Now, let's see here. How far down does this go? Okay, so it has Daniel Bryan as our first event card, which is from Season 5, which I don't think is correct. I think there was stuff before that. Oh, and we need to take off this one. Now, where was that Daniel Bryan card? Well, that is the question. There he is. Okay. So everything before there wasn't considered an event card. Although, because he was a single, we didn't get a pro of him, that makes things more confusing and awkward. Okay, let's just begin. So we know we have 6 spaces. We'll put the 3 of those together. And then I think we're going to go for the these 3, although Lesnar's also up there. Roman, Neville, and then big old KO Kevin Owens. Now, Kane was also a WrestleMania Season 1 event card. If I remember there being a lot of maintenance when this card went up. Okay, I think we're going to do that at least. I can't remember. I don't think you were an event card, but I'm going to put you in here anyway. And you were Season 4 event card. I just realised you were an event card. You should have been in way before the rest of them. Oh no, and the rest of these are all Season 3s and Season 2s. Oh no. I mean, I know that the Money in the Bank, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins weren't event cards. It'd be so much nicer if there was a way to order them by date. But I don't think we are able to do that. Okay, let's take a quick look at our card binder now. This is becoming a long video. Okay, so this is all still the ranked cards. Okay, there's all our Season 1. Okay, so you are Season 5, and you are Season 4. So let's get you guys out of here. And you're Season 3. And weren't an event card. I think this Seth Rollins was an event card though. Now I do remember I had to delete a lot of Season 2 events because we didn't have space at the time. I think to make things easier for myself, what I'm going to do is we are going to not have all of these things selected. We're just going to go through them one by one. So these are all fusion, so they'll come later. And I have a feeling that there's nothing here that's events. And you guys are Money in the Bank cards. Right, actually, those Money in the Bank cards, those guys are Season 2, aren't they? Okay, we can add these. I believe that Seth and Roman were both available at the same time. So what does our binder look like now? Okay, so we're into Season 2 cards. Interesting. And then Ultimate is Season 3. Although this one says Season 5 on it, which is absolutely crazy. And you guys are all Season 3s. So do I have another Season 1 card that I could throw in? Another Season 1 card right there just to throw in at the end of Seth Rollins here. So they've got Season 2s and then we can start the Season 3s. That would be ideally what I want. I think the only Season 1 card we've got left is the Hulk Hogan, the AJ Lee, and the Lita. Because everything else is all Season 2 and onwards. I don't really want to go splitting these up, but it's the only way that makes sense to me at the moment. Just to try and keep this looking nice. And let's place you at 75. Okay, so then there's a nice clean line between Season 1 and Season 2. It's also cool that we've got the Seth Rollins on the left and right and the Roman Reigns in the centre, so that is also very, very pleasing. So now let's go into our Season 3 event cards. Now I know that we've got the Undertakers here, but I'm pretty sure that neither of these were event cards. So we're going to do the rest of these ones first instead. Now, I could not remember for the life of me what the first event card is going to be, so I think we're just going to go with probably Drew, Undertaker, and Kane. In that order. Okay, that should look cool. And then the start of our next page will be in that order. Yeah, that looks good. And then we're into Season 4. Right, this is our one beast card, the Gobbledygooker. Okay, so the Season 4 cards. I think this Triple H was actually a PLE card. I don't think he was an event card. Okay, so if I'm right, if I do this, Goldberg should be in the middle. And I know that Stone Cold was the I think he was the last one of that event. Okay, so if I am correct, that should look pretty nice. Yeah, we've got the heroics in the center. We've got the regular cards on the left sides. It also goes from season 3 to season 4. And then that's us ready for the next part, of which we're going to put Triple H in the middle of this, just because he is a season 4 Titan card. Okay, very good. No, we don't need to go into the binder. And next, so WrestleMania 34s. Okay, so we'll go 4. Also, they're all single heroic pros. This is before I realised that, because at the time I didn't think there was any reason to get a double heroic, because the heroic image, you'd still got like the spikes and everything. So that's why I didn't go out of my way. I think we're going to do this. So Bryan Danielson, AJ Styles, and then Jeff Hardy. And then Nia Jax will start off the next one. And I lost my place. Are we on Goliath? We are. Oh, the AJ Styles card. This is actually a cool one. Okay, I need to see the binder once again. I need to see how it looks. Okay, so I think we're going to start with the AJ Styles first in the middle, which also goes nicely with the AJ Styles with the title belt over his shoulder. And then we're going to go into the rest of the cards. And then it's going to be Big Van Vader, and then it's going to be Becky Lynch. Now, this fusion, or this Hall of Fame, Honor the Giant, is going to stay there for just now, because he's not an event card. I'm going to move into SummerSlam 2018 instead next. Now, I believe this Ronda Rousey was an event card. I think. I'm fairly sure that she was. And I think we are on... Wait, we're at 100? Did I make a mistake? There has to be a faster way of going through these pages. No, okay. Oh, so 99 is the end of this page. Okay. And then Becky Lynch starts off this one. Gotcha. I see how that works. Right. So Becky Lynch is the start of that page. So then let's put Ronda in there. Should be that one. And then... And then we will go... We're going to go Kofi next. Then Samoa Joe. Then our heroic Bret Hart. Then our heroic Seth Rollins. Okay, and that's it for those. We don't need to check. That's going into those ones. So then we go into... Not that one. Shattered. Okay, then we're going to Shattered. Got it. And this is where we get the Daniel Bryan card. So I believe that this was the first time that we got 3 new tiers in a row, and I remember scratching and clawing my way up through Road to Glory, doing +2s to get this Daniel Bryan. So this was a very, very special card for me, that in particular, that Daniel Bryan. Oh, we can just do this. So we're on page 12. Okay, that looks cool. So I think we'll start with Ambrose, and then we'll have Daniel Bryan in the middle, and then Kurt Angle, and then Batista will start off the new page. So let's do Triple H first. Then... oh, this Goldberg was our first double heroic. Then we need... Andre. Then it's going to be Taker. Then Ray, and then the man Becky Lynch. So if we go to page 13, yeah, so we've got the two of these up and down from one another. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, also you can look at the cards. So that is very nice to see. Okay, yeah, this is looking pretty good. Because we've got two spaces. Now, what happens next, Cataclysm? Oh, we've got exactly two spaces, which is just enough for our Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. That was a very, very cool event, that one. Next up is going to be Seth freaking Rollins, followed by Undertaker, and followed by Samoa Joe. You can see by this point I was now at this stage going after double heroics the entire way. So it seems that it was from Cataclysm tier that I started going after the double heroics. Okay, we've got a lot going on here. I think it's just these guys at the top that were the event cards. I don't think these ones were events. So we should have 6 spaces, I believe. Oh, I remember this China. I really, really liked the fact that they gave us that China. Oh, this Adam Cole is only a single heroic, and yet seems to be higher ranked than some of the other ones. So that's interesting. And we're going to put China in the middle, and Eddie Guerrero beside Mamacita. That makes sense. Then Razor Ramon, Trish Stratus, and then the Macho Man. And then Aleister Black should be starting off a new page for us. Yeah, that's exactly what I expected. So these other guys aren't event cards, so we'll come back to them later. And this is SummerSlam 19. There's nothing there that is event cards. Of course, because those all came at the same time. And then we're into these ones, which are the actual event cards themselves. Okay, so one space is being taken up by Aleister Black at the moment. So this Hulkster would then be in the middle. Then Kevin Owens. Then Sheamus. And then Batista. So we're now 2. We're now one spot into the second row. So we've got 5 spaces remaining on that page. So let's go with the Samoa Joe because this was a special one. Oh, and this was the first time that they allowed us to get a fortified 1 card. I always liked the style of these ones. The Royal Rumble event cards. Okay, I'm going to take a quick look at our binder now once again. I messed up with the... Okay, so we need to make you number 134 so that you're in the middle. And yeah, that makes that look all nice and cool. I like having the middle ones, these rows here, being the special ones. Even though it doesn't make sense, I'm going to make you 129. Because that gives us this nice row here, even though this is not kind of in alignment, it looks nicer aesthetically. At least in my mind it does. Well, it's going to just change you to be 131. Just so that Kevin Owens is in the middle, as opposed to Sheamus. That looks nice. That is a nice array of champions and event cards. And then that also gives us our next page. It's going to be a nice brand new page for our WrestleMania 36s. I'm really tempted to put this Adam Cole in there. But another part of me also wants to keep all the title things together for later on. So I think we're going to start with Adam Cole, and then we're going to put in the rather hilarious Nikki Bella that only has half the image, and then we're going to go for let's go for Big Show, and then it will be Taker, and then the Rated R Superstar Edge. That looks cool. I didn't mean that. Anytime I'm clicking up here, I'm trying to click on this bit, and it's being problematic for me. Okay, so there's only 4 double heroics in here. That's Sasha Banks, Rey Mysterio, Keith Lee, and Apollo Crews. I've kind of forgotten where we are at. Okay, so we've got 4 spaces here, which is perfect. This Rey Mysterio, I think, is the best looking one, so we're going to put him in the middle. So we're going to start with Keith Lee, then we're going to go with Apollo Crews, then it's going to be Rey Mysterio, and then it's going to be Mercedes Moné herself, Sasha Banks. Okay, so that should be that entire page on that binder. Yeah, okay, that is pretty cool. So now we've got a brand new page, and we're on SummerSlam 20. This is a tremendously long video, my goodness. If you guys are still watching at this point, you deserve a reward. Can't think of what the reward will be, but let's see. If you guys type Dragonzord in the comment section below, you can have it as part of a sentence, or you can just type in just the word Dragonzord. It is from Power Rangers. Then I will give you my thanks. And it will also be a way of you letting me know that you watched through to this part of the video. And I'm going to continue making the video so that this is hidden somewhere in the middle, so it doesn't happen at the end or at the start. So if you guys type Dragonzord, I will know that you are a true fan of Big Old Grand Cat and you watched through to this point of the video. So that is a little secret between you and me. Only the most loyal of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet. So we have a brand new page here, and I really like this Jeff Hardy at the top here. Now we need to decide what order this goes in. Now this Kofi, I don't think he was an event card, so I'm going to hold him back. He could have been an event card, but he's fortified 1, which kind of implies to me that he wasn't. So I think we're going to start off with Stone Cold. Big old Stone Cold, son. I'll tell you what. And then we're going to go with the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Then it's going to be Randall Keith Orton. Then it will be China, followed by Jeff Hardy. Okay, good. And then we're into, right, that's when we got a new tier. So there's Bio Swarm, and then the next event card. Although these were the Thanksgiving cards. The next event card would have been in Behemoth tier. And I remember this Adam Cole because I should have got the pro of it, but the game glitched out and there was a point where you couldn't actually proceed any longer. So yes, that I remember that all too well, rather unfortunately. So let's go to page 16 and take a look. Okay, so yeah, that looks fine. And then we've got 3 more spaces, which is exactly what we have here. And we're going to put the Drew McIntyre in the center because I always thought this Drew McIntyre looked particularly awesome. Then we have a brand new page for Royal Rumble 21s. Yes, the Tribal Cheeks, Rikishi. So we're going to start off with Damien Priest. Then I think we'll put Rikishi in the center. And then it will be Big Match John, followed by the almighty Bobby Lashley himself. WrestleMania 37. So I think we'll start with Yokozuna, someone who I had the pleasure of actually watching wrestle in real life. Yes, that's how old the Grand Cat is. And then Macho Man, followed by Mr. T, followed by Rob Van Dam, followed by Bianca Belair. Now let's take a look at our card catalogue once again. So yeah, Yokozuna is in the centre, Bianca Belair finishes off the page. In fact, I'm going to make Bianca Belair 159. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Yep, I am pretty happy with that. Going back and seeing all these cards reminds me of just how long I've been playing Supercard, but how much effort was put into all of these events, because as I'm going through them all, I'm remembering, oh yeah, I remember we had to do this and we had to do that for that part and this as well, and oh my goodness. So we're going to start off this one with Reggae, then we're going to put Triple H in the top centre, then it is going to be Samoa Joe, followed by Rated R Superstar Edge. And then our next set is going to be SummerSlam 21. Now, SummerSlam 21 was a huge, huge tier. So, where are we starting with this one? Okay, so we're in the middle. So I am going to feature Brock Lesnar straight in the center. Then we're going to have Carmelo on the right, sorry. Followed by Big E, British Bulldog, and then the Axe Kyle O'Reilly. He had something about Axe going on about his storyline, didn't he? I have a feeling he did. And then we got into a new tier. So there is the Mire, then there's the Maelstrom, and Valhalla was our next actual event. And that should start off a new page. Then after Valhalla we go into Royal Rumble. Now you weren't an event card. I think that was similar to this Brock Lesnar here. I think Brock Lesnar was actually a PLE card. I can't remember what it was you had to do to get this animation Lesnar. But we're going to go Braun Breaker and then Otis. And then Road to WrestleMania, our only event card from this was Ricochet, because it was a really, really small tier. Then we're into WrestleMania 38. Now, before we set this up, let's take a quick look at our binder once again. I think we're on page 19, possibly. No, we're on to page 20 now. We're going to put Braun Breaker in the middle. We're just going to swap over Otis and Braun there. Unfortunately, Erwin Arsheister was not an event card, although perhaps should have been. So instead it's going to be Austin Theory, then it's going to be Taker, it's going to get the center space, and then it's going to be Ronda Rousey. And that gives us a new tier once again. A new tier, a new page, sorry. And our Edge ranked card is already in there, so I think we're going to give Alexa Bliss the center page. And then Gunther. And you were not an event card, I'm fairly sure. Then BCE, again, 3 cards. I think we're going to put Stone Cold in the center. And then Drew. Now let me just make sure that I did get that correct. Yeah, okay. Then we've got 3 spaces here. And we'll put Mandy in the center. And then Pixel didn't have any event cards. And neither did Extinction. But our next one is going to be Octanes, of which we have 3. In fact, no, The Miz wasn't an event card. He was just a special edition thing. I'm going to put Lashley in the center of this one. I don't know whether I want to put Kevin Owens or Lita in the middle. I think Lita. And then we will start off the next page with Kevin Owens, I believe. Oh no, it doesn't start off a new page. Okay, it's just down here. That is fine. That looks pretty cool. It's really nice to see the different styles and different artworks over the years. It's really, really cool. So we've got 2 more spaces. We're now in WrestleMania 39. So we're going to put Lesnar and then Cody, and then the next page is going to be started with Indy Hartwell. Then I think we're going to have LA Knight, yeah, in the middle. And then we're going to have Dragon Lee on the right. Then we're going to have Bronson Reed on the left. And we're going to put Liv Morgan in the centre of that one as well. Then we're into SummerSlam 23. So we'll start with Chad Gable, and then Edge and Damian Priest are going to be next to each other as former Judgment Day members. Yep, that's cool. That is relatively nice looking. So do we only have one more space on that one? And then Cody in the centre. Yeah, that's what I thought. Noir didn't have anything because this was a new tier. Crucible, however, did. They've got 2. That's not what I meant, but okay. Right, and then its center is going to be the first one here. Did Tundra only have 1 card? It could have done. Because I think this was a Battle Pass card. No, that's not what I needed. Okay, we move on from Tundra, then Royal Rumble 24, which is perfect actually. And we're literally going to do these in reverse order. That looks pretty good. And then we should be on a new page. And that says finally up to WrestleMania 40. And I think we need to put Taker in the center. Okay, so Tongaloa first. Then we're going to put Sheamus in the middle, and then we're going to have Tama Tonga on the right. Then it's going to be Finn Balor, followed by the Legend Killer. Okay, and then we've got 1 slot remaining. I think that's pretty cool having the Tongas on either side there, the Tama Tonga and the Tonga Loa. It'd be so good if we had a solo squad in the centre, but unfortunately there's no solo for that one. I think we'll put the Maxine, then Bronson, and then Braun Breaker. And then Inferno, we've got loads. Now, which one are we going to put in the centre? Probably Rhea. And then Jimmy. That gets us into a new line. And then Invasion was the start of a new tier, followed by Feral, followed by Legion. And is that us in the current tier? I think it might be. Okay, now let's take a quick look at our card binder once again. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. So we'll start off with 3 spaces. So I think we'll have Uncle Howdy in the centre. Then Nakamura. And then lastly Bianca Belair will start off a new page. So we go into Royal Rumble 25s. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk were the... Oh no, Stephanie Vacure was a double heroic as well. So we're going to centralise CM Punk, and then it's going to be Drew McIntyre, and then it will be Stephanie Vacure. I have lost track of my binder once again. Okay, so we've got a middle slot next. Which I think is going to be Jade Cargo. Then we're going to have Axiom, followed by Ricky Saints. And then Valor's only double heroic was Crush. And then we don't want to go using any of our WrestleMania 41 cards just yet, because those are still in our actual decks. So I think that's going to be the end of this little video, but let's take a look and see how much we've done so far. So there's our first page, which is our very, very cool little cards. Then we go into our limited editions. Then we have our ranked cards with all the ranked numbers on them. And then after our ranked cards, we go into our Season 1 event cards. And then that progresses through... Actually... No, yeah, that does make sense. I was thinking about moving the Seth Rollins, but no. Then there'd be 2 Seth Rollins next to each other. No, this looks nicer. Then that progresses through all the various different seasons with all the different heroics that we've managed to get ourselves. Through all of the different years. And then I need to decide, after event cards, what is the next thing that I want to showcase off. And I think I'll make that into a different video. But for now, we've managed to clear out quite a lot of cards, and we've still got quite a lot to go through. It'll be difficult to remember exactly what cards are Battle Pass cards and what ones aren't. So I think instead what I'll look for is ones that are special cards like this and like Undertaker and such. And we'll be showcasing those in the next ones. And also I think I might try and get as many of the crossover cards shoved together as possible. And then we'll see exactly where it goes from there. Yeah, because we've got quite a lot to go through. I think the Brock Lesnar with the little jumping animation might have been the first one, but we've got this Eddie Guerrero down here, but then we've got him as a level 0 pro, so that could be why that is, and then we've got Seth freaking Rollins down here as a level 0 pro. Then I'm not even sure where that Brock Lesnar card is. The one where he's jumping back and forward, and I might have already passed him because I'm pretty sure... Oh, no, I haven't actually. There he is. I think there was also another animation one that was AJ Styles that I didn't get the pro of, where he's got his hands and he puts them together and then he's got a little lightning bolt and things. But it seems that I never actually managed to get that card, so yeah. But there we go, folks. That is going to be it for this little video, and I really hope that you've all enjoyed. And if you managed to watch through to the end of the video, a huge thank you, huge thank you to everyone that managed to go through this entire thing and watched me setting up my binder. And of course you can see the binder right there yourself by clicking on the Grand Cat's name if you want to see any of these yourself. But with that said, folks, that is now going to be it for this little video, and I really hope that you've all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out, and we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.